We have made it to the end of another game in the Monster Hunter series, and this was a ride like all the others before it. Rise and Sunbreak has their own challenges and obstacles to face. One thing that drove this game to its success is its community. But before we get to that, I would like to discuss the journey we had through the game, with its rocky start into the beautiful finale that we got. Hello everybody, my name is SkojSkull and welcome to another video. In this, I wanted to explain my personal journey I had playing through this game. So that involves my personal feelings towards how the game was introduced, different mechanics in the game, and also how community driven it was after being introduced to the series with Monster Hunter World like many others. For me, I was definitely in a different place both mentally and physically compared to where I was in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, where I had a lot more time to dedicate to World and Iceborne, but not as much time when it came to Rise and definitely with Sunbreak. I started working full-time instead of being part-time. I have moved into my own place with the love of my life, and don't worry. Pew! Pew, pew, pew. She is a hunter too. So with all this life stuff happening, I found myself with less time to invest into Rise and Sunbreak, and I felt hindered my experience with the game as a whole. I do, however, now feel settled in the place I live in, and can finally dive deep into the game where I'm working on my anomaly research. I can finally dig into the endgame Sunbreak has to offer. I like now that Sunbreak knows what it wants to be. It's a lot easier to really take in the endgame experience, and it's in the best place it's ever been. When Monster Hunter Rise started, it was a bit rocky. Well, because of a certain virus that was taking over the world, and it affected the games we played. Rise, unfortunately, was one of those games. The story was unfinished, and there were not many elders other than Naru and Ibushi that you get to fight in the main story. Your HR was locked, and as you were hunting, you were not collecting any backlog of experience for you to magically be a higher HR when you get it unlocked. There was also a situation where when you killed Naru, the monster would collapse into the ground beneath you. And that was the end. Then in the later updates, the arena was magically repaired to be broken into again. So the story for the game was a little all over the place on release, and we got the full story in later updates. We got our HR unlocked, and the three elders, Teostra, Kushala, and Camilios. Then the grind finally began, and we got to experience Monster Hunter Rise fully. Monster Hunter Rise, I felt, did a fantastic job at introducing new players to the game. It did a great job of gradually introducing the switch skills to each weapon that you wanted to learn, and didn't throw everything at everyone's faces. I found myself having a better time learning different weapons this way, so it felt right. The way Monster Hunter Rise introduced the skills to each weapon is that they would have it locked behind different quests. They were not difficult whatsoever, but I personally like that they did it this way. Instead of leading people with the weapon and skills right off the bat and not really understanding why they have so many things to bounce per weapon, they gradually build you up with the weapon, and then you can unlock the skills from the quest when you're ready. Or you play like many people have and just unlock every quest even if you don't play the weapons. The trading moves just get better and better, with the trading dubbing itself dealing damage, so then you can maneuver around it like you would in actual combat. And I feel like from here, the training room will just get better and better. Maybe in future releases, we will get the opportunity to send out the monster into the arena, kind of like an Iceborne when we could send out the monster into the Guiding Lands, to then fight the monster and practice our weapon without any repercussions, without receiving rewards, of course. They also have moving targets and different structures to maneuver around to get used to the new wire bug skill. With the new wirebug skill, it didn't take too long to get used to it. It also made it difficult to play the previous games at times when I find myself trying to wirefall when I'm knocked on the ground. Help me! It definitely took some time to get in and out of that habit. It was a lot of fun maneuvering around the map, swinging around, and having them integrated with your skills for your weapons, making them absolutely the center of attention. Even though with each release of Monster Hunter they are entirely different games, you can kind of feel that this was a vast improvement from what the Clutch Claw was back in Iceborne. Yes, they were entirely different mechanics, with the only relation being that it is a gimmick that you can use throughout your hunts with your weapons. You can't help but think that. I can see from here on out that there will be more integrations in the future releases, like the Hunter Arts in GU, the Clutch Claw in Iceborne, and the Wirebug in Monster Hunter Rise. Something I thought was a lot of fun in Rise and Sunbreak was the wyvern riding. Riding your favorite monsters in this game, controlling them was amazing. My only gripe with it is that the fact that you can't wyvern ride apexes. Well, until you're able to in the fight against Amatsu. That was amazing. No way! No way! I should have cry. That is my favorite. Oh. With the monsters in this game, I was beyond excited. They brought back Seregios, Astalos, and my absolute favorite, the entire Megala line. These were my top 3 monsters for me, and I was ecstatic when they were announced. And I couldn't believe my eyes that they were coming back into Sunbreak. Before getting to Sunbreak, some of my favorite fights definitely had to be Magdamello and Crimson Glow Valstrax. I was so excited. Between Monster World and Rise, I took the time to play some of the older releases like 4 Ultimate, 3 Ultimate, and Generations Ultimate. So I finally got to understand the feeling when the returning monster comes into the series. With 4 Ultimate being my favorite Monster Hunter game so far, and Gore Magala being my favorite monster, you can imagine how excited I was when I saw its return. Oh, I'm shaking. Experiencing Sunbreak was incredible. I was really interested in the story and so many cool characters. I still remember the moment in the fight against Geismagorn when Luchika defended the bow from the rocks thrown from the monster using her bowgun, and the crazy fight against the beast when Fiorin came in to assist you. This was a fight to behold. As the updates came out for the game, I was excited to play every one of them, with all the returning monsters fueling our nostalgia. Aside from playing every update, it took me a bit to really sink my teeth into the game, with each update making major changes in how the armor system works and the anomaly investigations being a big hill to climb before they made it more approachable in later updates. It took a while for us to really put in our time into the game, and it wasn't until its later updates that we tackled the game once more. I have a lot to thank for this game. It brought me and my fiance now closer together. I also had the chance to meet even more people in the community. What Monster Hunter has never failed to do is bring everyone closer together with each release, making each game an absolute amazing experience. We all go through rough hunts where we cart so many times before getting the chance to finally beat the monster. The achievement hunters, people getting every gear piece, crown farmers, relic collectors, the max rank go-getters, and the max weapon usage go-getters. The world is your oyster with these games, and everyone has accomplished so much. Like Sephiroth crafting 1,000 switch axes to get his wish, or Jalbagel speedrunning Monster Hunter Rise at the game's done quick, beating the game to hit the first $1 million for the charity.
150! You guys can do it, right? I'm saying
Go!
my goodbye.
80!
You can do
Let's
it!
get it! Let's get it!
Let's go! Let's do it! Is that it?
Yep.
That's it!
The people in this community has achieved so much to the game, it's insane. So thank you, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, for continuing our journey through hunting even more gorgeous looking monsters. I can't wait to see what the future holds for later releases. Most of all, thank you all for the love and support for the past few years, especially to Floors 1, 3, 4, and 4, the Meme Monster, Midnight Live 27, Recklessly Giant, and Silverwings for being absolute legends, for being the channel with your tier 2 SkojSkull membership tier. If you all want to support the videos further and get these videos a day early than everyone else and get your name shouted out at the end, then hit that join button and become sexier than ever with the SkojSkull tier. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you all in the next video.